Do you recognize this profile picture? Do you have any visceral emotions tied to seeing it? Like, you don't associate anything positive with the image. Well, then the name Grummz might mean something to you, aka Mark Kern. This dude was a developer at Blizzard Entertainment, the guys who made Overcrosh, World of Warcraft, among a lot of other popular games. These days, he's better known for tweeting on Twitter under the name Grummz, and he's gained a pretty strong reputation for it. As an example, I want you to see what happens when you type Grummz into the GIF search. Hundreds and hundreds of GIFs of this dude getting hit in the head and killed with hammers. You have him being ripped in half by a transformer, getting shot a bunch by a transformer. A lot of transformers here. Society, if Grummz actually developed his games instead of whining all day on Twitter. Do you know how disliked you have to be to get that kind of reaction? Your existence has been burned into the GIF search engine as something dunking on you. The easy thing to say about this guy is he says most of the stuff he says, makes the complaints he does, specifically to get attention. He more than likely has the mindset of any attention is good attention, like early Grand Theft Auto marketing tactics. He might believe some of it, but I'm sure that some of what he says is purposefully stupid so that people are tempted to respond correcting him, people are encouraged to dunk on him, anything that compels you to have a reaction to it. And because of that, I usually just watch Grummz from afar and laugh without typing. I'm a lurker, man. It's fun spectacle, but I don't have to have my fingers in everything. Because the truth is, if I really wanted to go in depth with this guy right now, that could be its whole own video. Maybe it will be someday, but I take particular umbrage with one thing this guy has done recently, because he's put me in a position here I never want to find myself in. It's just what he said set off something a lot bigger, something that you could never have predicted it would go as far as if you were just scrolling by. It looks like another one of Grumm's usual posts. For whatever reason, this screenshot is from Blue Sky and not Twitter. Hassan said, playing at Assassin's Creed Shadows once more. Get in now for gaming. Hashtag ad, buy it here. Does Hassan take ads now? I didn't realize. I guess an important thing to say here is that while I was never paid by Ubisoft, I got a code of the game for free. I don't have a contact there. A friend of mine who does, though, just had a code lying around, and I'm like, sure, I'll take an early game. But Hassan makes a tweet saying he's playing one of the bigger AAA games of the year. And Grummz takes issue with this because Ubisoft is officially sponsoring it. You can tell a lot about Ubisoft at Ubisoft. Dude, you didn't have to say it twice. You could have just added them. I promise we all would have understood. With how much money they are throwing at terrorist platforming streamers. For the sake of my sanity, I'm not even gonna get into the weeds of that statement because there is a much more jaw-dropping thing to look at right after this. For whatever reason, co-president of the United States, Elon Musk, decided to jump in on this particular thread. I don't know why he's choosing to do this, man. It's like he loves getting owned, which honestly might be true. Elon Musk tried to worm his way into a baby fur community on Twitter once. I'm writing that down for later. That's a great video on its own. Elon Musk says, Hassan is a fraud. Sellout would be more accurate. Objectively, he is promoting a terrible game just for the money. Okay, and this is the part why I have to be on Ubisoft's side no matter how little I want to be. Assassin's Creed Shadows has been the most recent target of this kind of brigading. It is in a historical fiction setting in feudal Japan where you play as one, a Japanese woman, Naoe, and a black man that was actually a character in history, Yasuke. He's black. His inclusion is DEI and woke. We all know this. This started an argument on the semantics of if Yasuke is actually a samurai in history. There's conflicting evidence of which it is, and honestly, I don't care. Assassin's Creed has always been historical fiction, bro. Adam and Eve were made by aliens in the series. You talk to yourself 400 years in the future in one scene in Revelations. Fucking Christ, you boxed the Pope at the end of Assassin's Creed 2. The whole point is that the culture war angle of this whole thing has made it impossible to talk about this game in the context of how it is as a game. And to me, given I'm only at the start of the game, it's perfectly fine. It's about as standard of a Ubisoft checkpoint on map experience you can get. It's good enough fun, the controls handle well, probably like a 7 or 8 for me. But if you even say, I didn't mind it, I thought it was fun to interact with the game's systems, it means you've been indoctrinated by woke and the Biden shit. Either way, Assassin's Creed is a major release, and because a lot of Ubisoft's major projects in the last year have completely flopped, they made a Star Wars game they couldn't get to sell well. A lot was riding on Assassin's Creed. It was supposed to come out last November, but they delayed it till March this year. So to a lot of people, this was make or break. For some reason, this game became a symbol. Your stance on the game was usually perceived to stand for something. And this is where things get a little weird, because usually companies, when they have to deal with the whole DEI woke discourse, they don't touch it. The fact of the matter is, the market of people who play games is very diverse. Pronoun in bio blue hair person is definitely into Assassin's Creed, as well as people really into World War II memorabilia. For the most part, the best angle is just to let people fight it out of the ground. But for whatever reason, maybe because this Assassin's Creed game is the most high profile profile this type of argument has been had, but the official brand account was like, fuck it, let's say something ourselves. Whoever runs the social media account was tapped the fuck in because they came out of nowhere just to ratio 30-1 Elon Musk. The last thing Musk said, objectively, he's promoting a terrible game just for the money. The official Assassin's Creed account replies, is that what the guy playing your Path of Exile 2 account told you? Just caught a body out here, man. It's deadly. Even Grok, Elon Musk's own son, rated this a 9 out of 10 on the burn scale. The burn is highly relevant because it ties directly to Musk's earlier controversy about account boosting. I'm not reading off a Grok AI prompt, man. The reason the tweet from the Assassin's Creed account is funny is that Elon Musk was caught pretending to be like a top player on this game Path of Exile 2, but when he actually played on random live streams, he just did not play like he knew what he was doing at all, and it became clear to a lot of people that he was having somebody else play in his account to boost it. Boosting is when you artificially get your level up in a game without earning it. It's a bannable offense in most games. I remember I had friends in Call of Duty trying to get their camo challenges done who were doing that shit over and over again on Hijacked. You know, Grummz did really try to spin back in the name of Elon. He posted a random guy's article saying that Assassin's Creed Shadows wasn't selling well. It isn't the hit Ubisoft desperately needs, analyst says. And like the subtitle that he included in the screenshot kind of undermines the severity of that point. Assassin's Creed Shadows is selling well, but it's reportedly tracking behind AC Valhalla and falls short of 2025 hits like Split Fiction. Never mind that Split Fiction is roughly $20 cheaper than Assassin's Creed Shadows, but whatever. And I don't know why he would try to go band for band on game releases with anybody, dude. Grummz has a habit of calling out other game devs, usually ones like half his age because the dude's coming up on 60. Meanwhile, for years, he's been crowdfunding thousands of dollars for a game that gets very rare progress updates, much less has any news on how soon it's coming out. And it's the easiest fucking comeback in the world. Assassin's Creed says, our game's out. So Grummz comes hollering back one more time with Steam player counts, I guess? Because this game Schedule 1 is apparently doing over double the numbers of Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is nothing to sneeze at. It's actually really cool to see any indie game hit that level of success, but that's more of a triumph for indie games than it is an own for AAA games because it's like a quarter of the price, dude. It demonstrates the lesson we've been talking about where make games for less money that can become hits, but 30,000 people playing at once forking over $70? That's not an unimpressive figure, man, and this is only on Steam. Like, I get the point he was trying to make, but it's kind of pointless. And this is where just having no good reputation bites you in the ass, because there's maybe some level of truth to what Grummz is saying here that you could cling on to if you're in the same camp as him, but everybody's just clowning on him that he took 2 hours to respond with a weak-ass comeback. Like, they're dogging on him like they did Drake for The Heart Part 6. Watch out, guys, he spent 2 hours to cooking this shit. 2 hours for this. I owe you an apology. I used to think you stink, but nah, bro, you are ass. And he's just put me in the position of defending Ubisoft, one of the last people I ever want to speak positively of. And realistically, there's a 50-50 shot of them still being a company within the next few years. But I think he just underestimated how fed up people are with just the whole discussion of the game's woke. Because the easiest thing ever is right in front of you. Just don't fucking play the game. That's really all I got. I can barely muster up the energy for this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up here. If you guys want to send me any video topics, there's that kwytebox@gmail.com email in the description. Yeah, that's it. Piss off.